I think that we need to cooperate with the federal government at some point and cultivate a relationship that brings about peace. I mean, the Voters' Right Act is pretty clear. I mean, the voting right. I served on the Elections Commission with Judge Gaddis and Bill Fairbrother, and when this came across our board, we didn't think it was the same. It's my opinion that if you can't speak English, you shouldn't be able to cast a ballot in this country. But that's just my humble opinion. Other people that have come here, hardworking Hispanics, hardworking Italians, hardworking people from Europe that may not speak English but are citizens, have a right to vote. But they need to be able to read the ballot. It doesn't mean necessarily that we should be able to take on more expense in our elections office, more hassle for you, John, more hassle for the election office. But we need to cooperate and cultivate a relationship that's not based on, darn, that evil federal government. That's not going to win any help from those guys up in Obama. And believe me, if we can't fix it at the courthouse, we're not going to fix it at the White House. And we need to pull together right now so that we make sure that Barack Obama is not back in the White House. And to do that, we have to get along, we have to cooperate, and we have to cultivate good relationships with each other.
Okay, one more quick question for the county attorney candidates. We've pretty well heard about how the three of you are going to smooth the waters between your office and the Commissioner's Court. Are there any other changes that you would make in the county attorney's office to improve the services to the county?
For me, not necessarily changes. I've always said in our industry that if you don't keep moving forward, then you're actually moving backwards. We can't sit with what success that we have had. Later this year, we're going to get some technology. The Commissioner's Court bought us with the new Odyssey system that's going to enable us to go paperless in our CPS division. That will make us more efficient. That will help us get information to attorneys that are representing the children, representing the parents. We're going to be able to better serve our customers, being that whether it's parents in the CPS case, the children in the CPS case, attorneys, defense attorneys in the criminal cases. So I mean, technology and the use of that, I think we need to look on that. Domestic violence, we've been working on that issue. Mental health, we've been working on that issue. There are so many issues that are going on in our office right now because we handle so many different things that it is a constant battle to stay motivated, to keep your energy level up, and to keep forging forward. So to answer your question, no. Obviously, I've been involved in the office. I like how our office is handling the cases and what we are doing. However, there are so many things that we have that we are putting in place right now. So it's a matter of to keep moving forward, keep improving, and to keep our customer service level here at the level we have it, which I think is good. But my motto is we can always do better.
I would agree with Dee on everything he said. The two, I guess, I don't know if I'd call them changes, or at least one of them I'll call a change. One I'll just call them improvement. When I started this, I was talking to different law enforcement agencies. One of the complaints I heard was the lack of communication somewhat between those law enforcement agencies and the county attorney's office, either when dealing with cases, when reviewing witnesses, whatever that may be. And so I think that needs to be improved upon. I know when I was a prosecutor, you get so many cases, it's hard sometimes to talk to every officer on every case and figure out what's going on, those kind of things. And so I think we need to improve on that. I think the big change realistically is how the civil cases are handled. We need to gain the confidence of the Commissioner's Court so that they will bring those cases back to the county attorney's office as opposed to all those cases going out to private law firms. Now, some of those cases obviously have to go out. We talked about the salamander, whatever we mentioned earlier. Those environmental cases, someone with a certain specialty, so those cases have to go out. Eminent domain cases is another example of cases that have to go out. But some of the civil lawsuits where we have liability issues involved, Texas Tort Claims Act involved, those cases need to be brought back into the county attorney's office. And I think that's the biggest change that needs to be made.
Well, I think my response is a little more of a global, maybe strategic answer. We must continue to be tough on crime, but I think we must also restore the public's confidence and sense of justice and fairness and correctness in our local prosecution of crime. You know, regrettably, a lot of what we've seen recently has brought negative attention to our county on a national scale. We've seen the Michael Morton debacle. We've seen that not only did the DA's office argue against the DNA testing in that case, but so did the county attorney's office. We've had a 5-year-long lawsuit against the county regarding lawsuit claiming that misdemeanor defendants being prosecuted by the county attorney's office were wrongfully denied an attorney to represent them. We've seen this recent troubling case of this young football star, who although already on probation at the time, had a charge of falsifying a drug test dropped by the county attorney's office during the middle of football season. Young man that went on to commit 9 felonies, or allegedly 9 felonies, now been sentenced to 25 years in prison. It seems that a young man like that was in desperate need of help, maybe rather than just being cut loose. I think both he and his subsequent victims are a lot worse shaken out than they were previously. So I think that, from my view, I think we've got a lot of work to do to restore that sense of confidence and the sense of justice and fairness and correctness with respect to our criminal prosecution, criminal side of our activities in our county. That will restore that confidence, not only in our local citizens, but also the view that the nation has of us. Unfortunately, I'm not exaggerating there. I think this has received national attention in many areas. So I think we've got some work to do to restore that sense of confidence and that sense of fairness. And I've worked very hard to do that.
Do I get a minute rebuttal for that answer? All right, a couple things real quick. A football player that was convicted and sentenced to 25 years. Unfortunately, my opponent knows that because of the nature of juvenile law, I can't go into what was done with his juvenile case. So all you're left with is that we dismiss the adult case. Let me just say, when someone has multiple cases, sometimes we do something on one case, and then we don't do something on the other case. Okay? I can't go into details about it. Let me also say that being on probation is not going to stop you from committing more crime. If that was the case, our crime rate would be a lot lower. Probation can only do so much. Free will sometimes takes over. Indigent defense, yes, a long time ago, an interest group, a liberal group, wanted to sue us for how we handled indigent defendants. However, since that time, myself and several from our office were asked to sit on the state board and advise them on how to help counties implement the legislation for new indigent defense. And the work that the Commissioner's Court in our county has done has been amazing, and I'll share that with you at some time. In the Morgan case, some debate about our office. We represented a client. They're arguing that we're going to represent the Commissioner's Court. An attorney may represent you. It may not mean that the attorney agrees or disagrees with your position. Our idea is to make sure that we represent you and have that done. So please get the facts.
Other questions?
Is that question addressed to the commissioners as well?
County attorney.